Crystal Craven, a singer, a songwriter, and a worship leader who's passionate about sharing what God inspires. And this is your weekly devotional. Isaiah 26:3 says, "You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you." When looking at the world and the chaos going on around us, it can be really hard to just stop and have peace, right? On first read through this verse in Isaiah, it might appear that we have to actually strive to be in God's perfect peace. Yet it's God himself, our Prince of Peace, that makes us this conditional promise that he will keep us in his perfect peace if we stay our minds on him. If you really stop and analyze this verse, it's the fact that we trust in God that will have our mind stayed on him, in which God then does all the work of keeping us in perfect peace. We don't need to strive to be in God's peace, because he offers it freely, and he keeps those who trust in him and stay focused on him in that perfect peace. Are there things that you have been striving in lately? Things that, even while they may be for the Lord, you're relying on your own power or might in? Let's look back to the beginning in Genesis, when God created man and woman. In Genesis 1, verses 27 and 28, it says, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, 'Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth.'" God created them, then he blessed them, and then he told them to walk in those works that he had prepared for them to do. Mind you, that was a lot of work he had just laid out to multiply, or basically, have babies and raise them, but then also to subdue the earth and have dominion over all living things. But God blessed them first. He didn't tell them to do all this work and then say they'd be blessed in doing it. And while, yes, we do often find sweet blessings in doing the work that the Lord has called us to do, it's from God's blessing that we're actually going to be productive. If we strive for a blessing by what we do, we're in essence putting the cart before the horse. And we aren't really going to have peace because we won't have our mind stayed on God when we're in the process of that striving, right? Not to mention how the action of striving in and of itself that's happening in our own strength, and it quite literally is proving that our trust is not resting in God. Now, with the hustle and bustle of life, it can be extremely difficult to stop and listen and just sit at the feet of God. But it's made very clear in Psalms 46:10 that the proper order to this is to be still and know God. And then what follows that is God's exaltation among the nations and in the earth. We receive the blessings from God as we sit before him, just in stillness. And then he will be exalted through those works that flow from us spending time in his presence. If we don't follow the way that God designed for us to, we're going to run ragged and just be operating in our own strength. And ultimately, that's just going to render ourselves useless for kingdom work. It's important to know and understand, too, that the hustle and bustle can very much so be used in spiritual warfare. The enemy is going to attempt to hurl anything your way to get your attention on anything else, literally, other than God. And if he can't do that, then he's going to attempt to pervert the very works that God's prepared for you to walk in and turn them into striving. So is there anything in your life right now that God designed to be a beautiful work unto him that's been distorted into an act of striving for you? Really take a moment with this. Just stop and consider it, because it's a really subtle way that can hinder us from entering into his rest and taking advantage of this promise to be kept in perfect peace. The world can only offer you so much peace. And to be honest, nowadays, I don't know if the world can even offer any peace anymore, or even, the false peace. The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, is there to guard your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. God gives you his peace, not like the world gives, he told us. And it's because only the God of peace can give you and keep you in perfect peace. Now, trusting God is at the very foundation of this promise. The only way to trust God is to grow in a relationship with him. Trusting him actually started on the very day of your salvation, when you confessed your sin and you trusted that God was indeed faithful and just to forgive you of your sins and redeeming you unto himself. And that was only the beginning. The sweet things that he has in store for you, as he just calls you deeper and deeper into relationship with him, is far more than you can even imagine. He wants to bless you simply because he loves you, and he desires to lavish his blessings upon you. And he knows that one of those blessings is his perfect peace, which comes when you trust in him and you focus your mind on him. In Revelation 4, the description of the throne of God says, "From the throne came flashes of lightning and rumblings and peals of thunder. And before the throne there was, as it were, a sea of glass like crystal." I love this description because it gives the imagery of a perfectly still body of water that looks like glass. Not a ripple or of disturbance. It's just completely calm and peaceful. And despite the awesome wonder of lightning and thunder coming from the throne, it's just at peace. God sits upon his heavenly throne, and the very rumblings of his spoken word going forth, and yet he's just sitting so perfectly in peace. As we see before his throne is just like a sea of glass. Have you ever seen a lake similar to that, where it's perfectly still? It just looks like a sheet of glass. And it almost looks like a mirror that perfectly reflects that landscape near the body of water. God is always at peace, and he offers that to us. And although right now, while we're on earth, we see God as if we're looking through a dim mirror, having to wait until we're in heaven to see him face to face, if we decide to take him up on his promise, we will be in perfect peace, and we'll actually be able to see God in the most clear way possible that we can while we're here on earth. You don't have to have your life put together or fit into any description. You only need to trust in God and allow that growing relationship to steer your mind to focus on him, and he will keep you in perfect peace. I wanted to share a song with you that I wrote called God of Peace, Jehovah Shalom. And I wrote this in the midst of, it was the onslaught of all the health issues that I had started having. And I was actually sitting on my couch, unable to talk, unable to walk. I had gone to the ER and they rolled out a stroke and basically sent me home awaiting tests to see if I had like a brain tumor or MS or something else going on that was obviously causing health problems. And as I sat there, not knowing what was going to happen, what was going on in my body, I had a very real conversation with God. I couldn't talk at the time, so really, he was the only one that I could talk to in my heart. And I just had this moment of surrender, really is what it was. And I had my mind fully stayed on God at that point. And I was crying out to him in my heart. And I really just I didn't know, honestly, if I was going to live or die or whatever the case may be. But I told him, however long I have left on this earth, I wanted to still be able to glorify him. And I asked that he would use my life to do that, to bring him glory, no matter what it looked like. And I just had this place of surrender and worship in my heart. And he poured out his perfect peace upon me, and he kept me there. And I can tell you, even after getting diagnoses on my health conditions, it doesn't compare to the peace that he gives when your mind is stayed on him, because it wouldn't honestly even matter if I was dying, because I know where I'm going, right? And so everything that is in him is going to be perfect. And so he gave me this gift, which would eventually become the chorus of this song. And I couldn't sing it out loud, but I sung it over and over and over in my heart. And it was just so peaceful. And as I eventually regained function, I ended up sitting down and actually writing the song. And that's where God actually gave me the vision to write the album that I had released on the names of God. So with this song, it's kind of what started it all. And I wanted to share it with you and encourage you. And I hope that you would just take the time today, every day, and just sit still before your Maker and just sit at his feet. Soak up his presence and let him keep you in his perfect peace.
In the world there is chaos and confusion, and I need a place to rest. There is only one place I can run to. It's you, my God. Jehovah Shalom. You are the God of peace. You're seated on your throne, and I'll come sit at your feet. When my health takes a turn so quickly, and things don't go as I planned, you remind me that you'll never leave me, my Prince of Peace. Jehovah Shalom. You are the God of peace. You're seated on your throne, and I'll come sit at your feet. Your peace is not like the world gives. It surpasses all understanding. I'll keep my mind stayed on you. You'll keep me in perfect peace. Jehovah Shalom. You are the God of peace. You're seated on your throne, and I'm sitting at your feet. Yes, I'm sitting at your feet. Jehovah Shalom. You are the God of peace. You're seated on your throne, and I'm sitting at your feet. sitting on your throne, Jesus, and I'm sitting at your feet.
For blogs, written devotionals, and more originally written songs like the one you just heard, visit crystalcravenmusic.com, and that's Crystal with a K.